We're here at Radiodays in Lausanne in Switzerland, our 10th anniversary. Here's Tamar from NPR, Mark Little from Kinsen, brand new company, and they were talking about personalization in news. Tamar, we'll start with you. NPR One. What is NPR One?
NPR One started as an app, but really it's a system of giving people a localized, personalized experience of the news and stories that are of value to them. So we use personalization in an editorial responsible way to help people get the news they want that's localized and made just for them. It's like a radio show for them on an app, on smart speakers, or even on a watch.
So you have the app, and it's a national app, the NPR app, but parts of it will change depending on your area?
Exactly. So if I'm in Ann Arbor, Michigan, it's going to pull up a story from my local station and a newscast from my local station. If I'm in New York, it's going to do the same thing in New York. So no matter where you live, you get a localized blend of news that's local content mixed with national content.
And this is different to what I know of radio in Ireland, because we just have one station covers all. Of course, we have local radio stations, but this happens anyway on NPR in the States. I mean, it dips in and out of national versus local all the time, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's right. So this was really a way of taking what we are known for on terrestrial broadcast, which is that local national blend, and reimagining it for the platforms of today, for apps, for smart speakers, for wearables, even for the Xbox.
Is there some sort of algorithm or intelligence built in that will know whether the user wants local at that time or wants to continue listening to national?
We have done a lot to ensure that the algorithm does what we want it to do. It doesn't always just like, the listener really wants cats, we'll give them lots of stories about cats.
Yeah.
It's really
cats
about
on skateboards, always a winner.
So we've really wanted to make sure that we're using it to support really why people come to us, which is for that local national blend of news, and for those stories that take them places, introduce them to people they don't know, and give them those serendipity moments that keep them stuck in their car long after they get home listening to a story they never knew they wanted to know about, but they love when they hear it. So we've designed the algorithm to do that and support interests that are very unique to you. The podcasts that you love, certain topics that you uniquely are interested in that don't necessarily take away from your understanding of the news, but help you feel more grounded in things that you're uniquely interested in.
So it is personalized based on your input of interest and your listening habits. Mark, Kinsen, of course, huge success, colleagues. We used to work together in RTE and then Storyful, massive success around the world. And now Kinsen is the next big thing you're working on. What is it?
Yes, so we were just trying to imagine if we could give control back to individuals of their news routine every single day, what would that look like? And I think that's one of the things that we're imagining is go back to the old days when you get up in the morning and you had your morning news routine, lunchtime, you come in the evening. And that was kind of destroyed by the rise of social media platforms. So we're thinking about what that might look like. Essentially, what the work that NPR One does, can we help publishers, broadcasters create a form of personalization that the user controls? And I think that's our key challenge. So,
and why do you think social media has destroyed it? Is it because of the lack of trust, or it's not curated enough, or?
I think the thing we're seeing about users are overwhelmed right now, right? Overloaded every single day by just this vast quantity of information. So it's not like social platforms set out to destroy those routines, but you got alerts coming at you all day, every day, and you don't really have control over it. So I think the first challenge is ordinary people are just overwhelmed. The second thing is they know that their data is being manipulated. So the old style of personalization kind of was stalking you as you went to a digital website, and there was like robots sitting on your shoulder watching what you were looking at and looking at your browser history, and it was kind of playing to your worst instincts, right? So it is really creepy. And so we're trying to imagine, what would it look like if that form of personalization was about your best intentions? If you came onto a site and it said, hey, do you want to be challenged? Do you want to see diverse points of view? Where do you live? How do you get to work in the morning? So really understanding you and allowing you to control the process rather than having this like creepy robot sitting on your shoulder. So I think that's what we're trying to sort of replace and move people away from.
How would it work, let's say, as an example, our own home country of Ireland? It would be, again, a national app, but then would the local news come from the synergies with local newspapers or local radio stations, or how would that be?
Yeah, so we're looking at the idea that, for example, let's say a publisher or a broadcaster wants to sort of meet someone in the morning when they're going to work, and they want to provide them in that, let's say, 15 minutes while they're sitting on the train with everything they need to know to feel complete, to feel powerful, productive when they walk into the office. They obviously want to know what time the train's going to be. They want to know the weather. But they also want to have an idea to walk into their first meeting of the day and feel powerful. So right now, a publisher really doesn't have any idea of the individual. They have no real way of knowing that. And so what we're hoping to do is work with publishers who kind of now want this better understanding of the individual to build the core of journalism, right? Trust, loyalty. That's what journalism, since I started way, way back, has always been about. And we're just simply trying to recover that, something that was, I think, lost for the past 10 years. So helping publishers understand the identity, the intentions, and the rhythm of the day of the individual that they're trying to develop a relationship with. That's really what we're just trying to give, that little superpower to people who are providing the journalism. And I think also give people an alternative to social news feeds, which, they're not really ranked on quality, they're ranked on emotion. So we hope there'll be a partnership between the sort of empowered news seeker and the people who do the great journalism. That's really what our mission is to give every individual that connection again. So we're working with the public community. You can download the Kinzen app, and you can play with it, and we're hoping working with that community to start training some of the machine learning and data science, which I'm fascinated by. I'm getting really geeky when I get into that stuff. That's
and in the interest of fairness, make sure you download the NPR One app as well to keep it all fair. Well, I like that. Bringing trust back to your timeline as you scroll. Mark, Tamara, thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you.